Have you ever felt like you're being pulled in 1,000 different directions? One moment you're sketching a new art piece, the next you're jotting down ideas for a novel, and before you know it, you're knee-deep in a coding tutorial. If that sounds like you, welcome to the club. Hey, I'm Tay, a self-professed polymath struggling when my curiosity knows no bounds. Today I want to share with you how I've learned to harness my multitude of interests without losing my mind or my progress. But first, let me ask you a question. Do you ever worry like you're spreading yourself too thin? You're not alone. And guess what? There's a way to turn this so-called problem into an actual superpower. You have to reframe how you see yourself. Being a polymath is not a curse. The world needs people who can connect the dots across different domains. It is a gift. But the key is to embrace this identity, not to fight it. One thing that helped me immensely was identifying a central theme that ties everything I'm doing together. And for me, that happens to be storytelling. It is the core thread that runs through everything I'm doing, whether that is drawing, painting, writing an actual novel, coding, or composing a song, even doing data visualizations or data engineering. Without that common thread, then I tend to feel more scattered because I feel like I'm shifting between too many things without actually making progress at any of those things in a meaningful way. So let's get practical. First, you have to have clear priorities. You can just pick each and every week what you're going to be working on in terms of a primary focus and two secondary foci. For example, my primary focus this week is focusing on upping my data engineering and analysis skills, and my secondary focuses are editing the second chapter of my novel and making at least 2 hours progress painting the cover of that novel. So this way I'm not abandoning my other interests, I'm just giving them more of a structured time slot. Next, we'll talk about time blocking and micro goals. Ever heard of time blocking? It's a game changer. I allocate specific time slots for each activity. Morning is for coding when my mind is freshest. Afternoons are more for writing when I get really inspired. And the evening is where I can wander a little bit more. So those tend to be for art. But here is the trick. You have to set micro goals within these time blocks. Instead of saying, I'm going to work on my novel, I say, I'm going to write for 25 minutes, or I'm going to try and write 500 words in the next 2 Pomodoros. And for those of you who don't know, a Pomodoro is a 25-minute time block interspersed with a 5-minute break. So you get 2 Pomodoros, 2 breaks every hour. The main point is that this makes things incredibly achievable and satisfying. But let's be real, our attention spans are under constant attack. Social media, emails, notifications, they all add up. Typically, I like to use apps to limit my social media usage, such as getting rid of my YouTube algorithm's front page, or just putting my phone in the other room when I have a focus period. Another thing I like to do is implement mindfulness practices into my day-to-day because you can't pour from an empty cup. So what I'll do is I'll take 5 minutes just to breathe, sit there with my eyes closed, reflect, and just kind of let go, or take a 5-minute walk around the block, maybe even a quick jog to reset things. When you take a measured break, it's not a sign of laziness, but it actually increases what you're able to accomplish. And it has the additional bonus of just helping you be healthier, which honestly, all this stuff doesn't matter if you make yourself sick during the process. I hate to say this, but you can't do everything. You have to learn to say no. When you learn to say no to certain projects, desires, or interests that just aren't as important or as promising or truly fulfilling for your central theme or otherwise, you're actually freeing up time for what matters. Doesn't mean you're giving up on those things. It just means not right now. One of the coolest things about having multiple interests is actually leveraging the overlaps. So for example, being an artist and a writer, I can help create scenes visually and inform how that, lets the novel unfold. For example, here are some of my characters, and this is the book I have written and the cover I am currently painting for that. We're wrapping up on these here, so stick with me. The next one is about community. Community, you really cannot underestimate the power of. You want to be a part of a community where people are normalizing the type of behavior that you're going for. We want these behaviors to be healthy and communities to be healthy. Right now, you just need to worry about getting into a community where people are normalizing doing multiple things, finding those overlaps, and balancing the productivity therein. You can just go in, share your projects, and get a little accountability. Lastly, reflect and adjust. Keep a journal of what is working, what is not working, and how you can close that gap. It really helps to spend time habitually reflecting on what you're doing, why it matters, where you're going, what you're learning, where the gaps still are. For example, as I'm learning to code, I realize I need to learn more about set theory in mathematics in order to be a better SQL programmer. It's just how you can wrap your mind around the big concepts, grasping the trunk and shaking all of the branches. So in conclusion, embrace your identity as a polymath, find a central theme, set clear priorities, use time blocking and micro goals, eliminate distractions, practice mindfulness, learn to say no, leverage skill overlaps, engage with the community, and reflect regularly. Now I want to challenge you. Pick just one of these strategies, implement it this week, and let me know how it goes. Also, feel free to sound off in the comments if you have a bunch of interest and you've been struggling with this for many years like I have. Again, I'm Tay. I'm a self-professed polymath, learning to tackle my multiple interests, make clear progress, and finish projects in those veins, whether they overlap directly or just complement each other in other ways. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, feel free to subscribe. There will be way more videos for people like us who have trouble figuring out how to balance all of these interests and make real progress while, again, maintaining well-being. So I'll see you in the next one. Keep exploring, keep creating, and embrace your superpower. I'll see you next time.